Paparazzi taking pics, something you don't wanna miss. Diamonds dance like a disco ball. Excuse my wrist, it like too show off. No condiments, too much sauce. This is regular, do this. I'm a walking lick. Having nothing on my wrist. Paparazzi taking pics, something you don't wanna miss.
Yes, boys! Welcome to Right in the Coot. How you doing? All right?
Alright, how are you?
I've been worrying all morning.
Why?
So I messaged this morning saying he can't make it.
How was the matter with him?
He's sick, I think. No well. But I was genuinely, when I seen the text, I'm like, myself.
Sick, no well.
I'm just going like, just call the show off.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you spend a lot of Christmas for the weddings?
I have to.
Mate, that's too much now. I would, mate, see if I had a wedding, I swear to God, £20 budget in Primark. I'm not joking.
It was, I think it's been, like in the past, no, I never went and bought it, but I think some of it was ridiculous, man. Some of the money that's spent.
But everything's a fortune now.
Oh.
Everything they want.
Even hey, a jack for a one-year-old guy in talk. 1 year. Jackets are about 500 quid and all that. They want 600 quid. GTA.
That's a bit much for a 1-year-old.
So, today's show's brought back. Right, today's show's brought to you by EA Sports. FC24 now with Dane to be in our best behaviour today, lads.
Aye.
No swearing. As you see, I'm gutted I'm stoning it.
That's why there's nothing wrong with Si, is there? He's just not allowed on.
Somebody's talking up. There's big news for your partners, lads. UEFA Euro 2024 is coming to EA Sports FC24. By playing EA FC24 now, you'll receive a special Euro 24 player item for your ultimate team.
Superb.
FC players will receive one of 6 European stars. Jack Grealish.
Oofed.
Virgil van Dijk.
Oof.
That's the one you want. Federico Chiesa. There's a wee pause in there. Pace, yeah. Florian Wirtz.
Good player.
Good player. Derek, what do you think of him? Wirtz.
Alright.
And Ousmane Dembele. So find out more on how you can get involved by clicking the link in the description box below. Faddy, you done the Euros draw? Yeah. How was it? Sutton was on, wasn't
it? It was good. Aye, Sutton and Julian Laurent was on and Shearer came on. It was good. It's
a very different show to your one, wasn't it?
Well, the way I was live on air.
Did you hear that ring?
Aye. I was live on air on the BBC. My phone goes.
We seen you watching you.
That's right. Do you remember going up there? I just give him a ring. I'll answer.
So see that because we were watching like.
Well, I feel it in my pocket, and then I've got my watch on, and then just like that, try to hide it.
So he blanked us.
Aye. I was on the telly. Live. It was not recorded or anything, it is live.
But I think you could I think you could handle that.
I could,
it was a moment,
you're
boys.
Just not allowed.
You're not, no.
Faddy, what did you make of the draw?
I thought it was a good draw. I think it's not, I don't think any group would have been easy. I know everybody's saying they wanted Albania, but they won their group. So they're no going to be a bad side. But I think Scotland are at a level now where the disappointments we've had recently in the friendlies have been against the top sides. You know, France, England, came close against Spain, ultimately lost it 2-0. But we've beaten Spain. So when you're talking about Norway, who everybody thought were going to qualify because they've got Haaland and Odegaard, we're better than them. So I think we're better. We're definitely at the level of Switzerland and Hungary. But I think we're better than them. And I think getting the opening games amazing against the Germany side that they've been poor. Changed their manager because they never got results in friendlies. I just think it's a great time to play them. The opening game,
does it put me
on them.
Do you think that, so see that it's to your home tournament? Does that put more pressure on them, or do you think it can give them that lift because they have been struggling, haven't they? Do you think that can give them that lift, the opposite effect?
It could give them a lift, and you would expect it will, but they're still under pressure.
Yeah.
They've played no competitive games for a year and a half, so they've got friendlies leading up to it.
Got a few, they're tough ones as well, aren't they?
I don't know who they're playing. I don't know. I've not seen who they're playing, but I just think what a chance, and especially first game because all the pressure's on them. German fans will be expecting them to be. They'll expect them to batter us. Yeah. But I think it's a brilliant time to go and play them. Opening the whole tournament.
It's
It's amazing. So I think that the players will be delighted with the draw.
Yeah,
They'll not
I
come out
really-
and say it, but I think they'll be delighted.
I really think they'll qualify. We'll qualify. won't we?
Aye.
I really do.
It's just that I sometimes don't like when that expectation
Aye,
is
put that on them,
that we beat Germany because they're in a they're not in a good place at the moment as a collective. But if you think individually, if you're going to get through that German squad, they have still got top players, and more often than not, when it comes to the big competitions, they turn up. So that's my only worry. But as a draw, you're talking about, it was brilliant, and we all wanted that, wasn't it? You know.
Did you speak to Lewis after? Because you spoke to him. Well,
No, I think he had.
didn't you?
I think he had enough of me.
Oh, did he?
On that, I think that was. But it was
Did you
quite
hear
good.
him after that?
It was quite good, his reaction, wasn't it?
Oh,
towards some of the other boys. There's a couple of
Because
Swiss boys.
in
Aye.
the bus with him.
Aye, he turns around and says, "We'll batter yous." You know, it was quite because there'll be
That's
a wee
what
bit.
happens, though,
Wasn't it?
innit?
Aye.
That's what happens.
There'll be
That's
a wee bit
not-
of banter
just
going
in case
between them.
anybody thinks that's arrogance. It's
No,
that's
and that's the banter because we were on the bus.
So were you scooped up for the draw then?
No, just went. No, we weren't allowed a drink.
No,
Our producer,
drinking, no
which
swearing.
is close by here, wouldn't allow us a drink. So we were totally stone cold sober on that, weren't we?
I think it's
But we
only-
took it to a new level, a wee bit different for your draw.
Aye.
He was too much zoned in and you watching the concentrating yours, weren't you?
It was when you sniffed my boots, mate. That was a bit of goat meat.
Well, you couldn't no sniff. Like, they were unbelievable. Did you see them? They were massive. I think they were about a size 15, weren't they? To start halfway. You done well. They're like moon boots. Somebody landed in the moon with them.
Shockers,
weren't
weren't
they?
they? Shockers,
How
man.
heavy were they?
Oh, the worst.
There's like dumbbells, wasn't it? Could have got a workout with their boots.
Wait, see, because you knew it was VEA. You said to him before, there's no swearing at that. Every sort of second word, wasn't it? You were swearing. Oh, mate.
But you kept me in check. No? Well, it is Saturday night. As we're
Aye,
all buzzing
exactly.
for it. You know,
Then you
so
went to the Shanghai Shuffle after me, didn't you?
I did with Alan and Janice. We're pals. We haven't saw them for a long time. And we had a great meal. And that's what he texted me the next day. And I do remember his text. And we need to do that more often. You know, going for a quiet meal instead of going for the daft stuff, you know.
Quiet meal with Shanghai Shuffle.
A wee shuffle after it. But it was just good to see them. So it was. And but that's more what I'm going to be all about now. Slaney, just go out for meals and maybe a wee glass of niceness as well.
Mate, I think I was thinking the other day, I think your mind is what everybody, see when I listen to all these people talking about, I want to get the most positive mindset, I think your mindset you're in the now is what everybody's trying to get to. It's just
And
so
you're-
I wasn't it
Yes.
Monday or Tuesday.
Your family trying to talk you out of it. Come
Aye,
on.
I know. No,
You're better
I
than
think
that.
you've got to be like that. I think
100%.
positive, innit? Sometimes people kind of latch on to the negatives and all that, which we're going to come to, you know, and sometimes we're asked questions about the football, but sometimes you have got to look at the positives, haven't you? But that's what I've always tried to do that. Has it got me in trouble? Absolutely. Well, I learned probably never, but as I say, we'll get with a bang.
You're starting
One
to
of these
mature.
days.
Talking about going for meals and that.
That's
You're
it.
starting to mature.
We need a Christmas do, mate, we can't get a date in for this.
Well, Si texted me with a date, which I couldn't make because I'm heading out to Bologna, but he came up with another date, which I don't know if I'll be able to go out in now because I was speaking to the missus yesterday, so, but I'll try and get out just to meet us for a couple. That's what I'm saying, doesn't need to be a maddie. We just go and get a bite to eat. A cup
Shanghai
for
Shuffle.
Aye.
Get Alan and Janice to come.
Yes, I got
But see on the Euros thing, see if we've got a full strength team and everybody's at it, we can beat anybody. Anybody.
There's a positivity in it.
Anybody.
I think when you've beat Spain, with the groups with Scotland got to, the players will believe that, won't they?
We can beat anybody. On a day we can beat anybody. We just need to make sure it's our day.
Aye.
That is refreshing.
And I think there'll be that, they'll no shout for the rooftops, but I think what Faddy's touching on, them as a group will feel that, they'll feel that they'll fancy their chances, they'll not come out and shout it. I don't think the manager will allow that. But inside, you know what it's like when you've played in certain teams and you know if you're at it, you've got a right good chance of winning a game. It's
You know
a
what I
great, it's a
liked as
great
well?
feeling that. innit?
Both the managers of the other teams, they were asked about Scotland and they were all complimentary, but they all went, oh, they're strong and they're physical. Brilliant, because we're no reliant on physicality, but
No.
we're not barely get enough to pick up at corners. So
I think we're aggressive. You know, I think that's what I like about us. I like when we play aggressive.
it's not a physical team, is it?
But
You know
there's
what I mean?
different.
So I
People
think
can
they've got us
think
wrong
about
a
that word, the physicality. You're going about battering people. It's not like
No,
that.
at all.
Physicality is, can you run more than the opposition? Can you press them better? I think all that sort of stuff. I think we can do that. I think when there's, if you look at through that group, can play different ways as well. So, but it's that between their ears. It's that belief that they can go.
I think see the last Euros we qualified, it was like we drew the two. It was in Nations League. We drew the two games. We drew the semi winning penalties, the final winning penalties, and it was almost when we got there, it was like, it's good we're here. We've got that sort of.
Aye, that.
We've not been in a tournament for over 20 years, but see now, actually, I think we belong here.
Aye, I agree with you. I think they've qualified with 2 games to spare. They've had the experience of being disappointing at the Euros, and they'll not want that to happen again. They'll make sure it doesn't happen again. I think Scotland will be the dark horse of the Euros.
That mentality's changed, Slaney.
Brilliant, innit?
Innit? That mentality's changed, and it's because players are playing at a good level and they're all playing well. They've all got that inner belief, and as a group. And this is probably, you look at Germany, maybe some of the other nations, when they come together, a lot of them have always got issues and all that, aren't they, within a group?
Aye.
That group, that Scotland group, have not got that. And that's what I'm saying, that's how they always turn up, because it's they've got that good feeling, they get the good vibes and all that. It goes a long way.
Aye, 100%.
Get a happy dressing
That's
room.
a lot of the big teams have that, don't they? They have the
Egos,
power
you get-
struggles,
aye,
the
you get
egos.
the egos,
and
aye, it's all about
Scotland
me and all
don't.
that.
Yeah.
They just have,
They've
that's
anything
part of
but.
the job that Steve Clark's done. He's just got a team of players. We've mentioned this every time, that just want to turn up, that want to play. They want to, obviously, they all want to be the main man, but they understand that in order to be the main man, you need to be part of the team.
I think
and
that's
it's just
just Stevie Clark emphasised.
Aye.
It's all about the team, it's about the group. And it's not even about the team,
No,
it's
the
a
team,
group,
the
and
squad.
it's a squad, isn't it? He's always in that. But sometimes you don't get that with the big nations. And because the egos start to kind of play a part.
Will you be at the game?
aye.
The opening game?
You'll be there.
Well, I hope I'm at the game.
Well, aye.
You will be, Faddy.
But then we're starting to look, we're going to look at it early next week, you know, in terms of where to go and stay, because everything's been ramped up,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
That's a disgrace, that, by the way.
But it always happens, it comes in it. That's what always happens at the big tournaments, sir. So I'm going to have a wee look at that over the course of next week. And because is it Munich, then where is it? Is it
Some travelling.
Stuttgart, is it?
Cologne? Cologne's the last one. So there's a wee bit of travelling about, so but I'm going to look at that. And so
You're going with the family, because at open goal, we're taking the big bus here, we're driving it.
are you doing that?
The bed's inside the bus.
Right, we need to know. Is that, see, the thing is, we need to start getting get the wheels in motion, because that's already. Missus, I know the boys, they've got a wedding in Cyprus, so they'll not be able to go to the first game or the second game, because they're there. But certainly Carol definitely want to go.
I was asking it,
If she's still with me, still wants to be with me, which would be nice.
will Scotland be giving a lot of tickets for the fans? How does that work?
10,000, innit?
Oh. And by the way, fair play to all the guys, man, that go to all the games.
Brilliant, innit?
Sometimes I wonder how they afford it as well, but they dig
They've been going
deep
even
into their
Scotland, were
savings.
sort of
Aye.
Aye.
getting beaten that went and playing poor, they were always there.
Aye. So you'd like to think they're going to get first crack at the tickets.
But I told you on Saturday, you weren't there. The Slanes have got 4 tickets for the final, Euro final. Don't know how it's worked out. My brother was on I don't know how he got himself involved in it,
Aye.
but he was in a ballot.
Yeah.
And he got an email saying, you've received 4 tickets for the Euro final. So there's 5 of the Slanes. So somebody's going to need to miss out. You were saying my wee dad can't, didn't you?
No, you've got your dad priority.
But it'd be so funny if
Your
he
dad.
turned up thinking he was gone, wouldn't it? And he didn't have a ticket.
You
he gave
vlogging
my-
it? Are you vlogging it?
Your mum and dad's.
Pick straws. You go first, Dad.
Aye. Aye.
Oh, lucky! Hey.
Yeah.
Mate, that would go viral, that video. Him turning up at the final and his tickets
your
gone.
mum and
Did a
dad.
slane.
Your
Did a
mum-
full slane, but
Mum and dad,
for the final.
certainty.
Oh, we will, mate.
Through the door. For when you leave your house,
Leave
all
the
the
house.
way.
So we're all going.
And it shouldn't be straws you're drawn. It should be like his backpack and sausages.
Right.
Innit?
Lucky
The
that.
biggest sausage one. Should be sausages out the backpack. You should do that like.
Oh, you're not gone.
It's be brilliant.
I've got a pickle, what does that mean?
You go to think outside the box, and then that's just simple. Sausages out the backpack.
Oh man,
What a draw that would be,
that is incredible.
wouldn't it?
Aye, so we'll definitely vlog that. Problem we've actually had another wee issue. My uncle's, we see he's half German. He's full Scottish, but he's always loved Germany.
Right.
Since a young kid, he's had a affiliation with Germany that way. So when the chat was going, I seen him pop in the door, trying to get himself involved with the ticket. So now the discussion is who's the two that's going to be left out. I can't, mate, because I'm going to try, unless somebody can get us an extra 2 tickets.
Well, you'll be vlogging it.
I'm sure there'll be loads of people
You'll be
feeling
doing
sorry for you. You've only got 4 tickets, you only need another 2
Mate,
for the
that is
final.
genius.
Right, hold on a minute. See if we can just reverse a wee bit. So there is an open goal bus heading in that direction.
Yeah,
There is. Right.
we're going there. So after the Hydro, mate, I think it's very close after that. We're heading out on
Right.
the bus, and it's the bus the bands have, with all the beds inside the bus.
Tour bus?
Tour bus.
Is it?
Aye. So you're going to come here with us then?
That might change things, aye.
It depends. If you're still with Carol. No.
Is it that close? Is it that close, mate? Do you think it's on the ropes now?
No.
No.
Not at all. Give me peace.
Is there a space for Carol?
What did I do with her, aye? That's what I was wondering. Who's
like Carol and the boys.
That was my next question. Who's allowed on the bus?
Who's turned up fancy dress and all the wrestling gear on? Little recipe,
Don't you
the double
turn
bed.
up, aye, just don't you turn up with the moon boots, man.
No, but I think though, I think that could be, you know, when you're living with people, you're travelling with people for that long, you're sleeping and all that, that could be messy.
That's a vlog within a vlog, isn't it?
Innit?
I think
Ferguson's on their holidays.
Aye,
Turning
you
up to
should.
the open goal
Carol-
bus.
Listen, if it's like say, Carol's definitely knowing that bus, right? So I might travel there with yous, and then I might disappear for a day or two, is that alright? And then come back to yous.
Aye, just
Can I
keep-
do that?
Aye, we'll keep your bed there.
Right, that's good. I'll share a bed with one of these.
I think I think it could
Who'd I
be
share a
messy,
bed
mate.
with?
He'd give up his final ticket to share a bed with you.
Prawn sausages, isn't it? My dad will love Germany.
But get
Man, you said that the other day, didn't you?
Aye,
The
your
land of the
dad,
sausages, you
definitely.
said. Is that what you said, wasn't it?
It is.
The land of the sausages.
Try to think.
Currywurst.
What's a currywurst?
Oh, that's there.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Aye, I wouldn't mind that.
massive sausages in there.
Yeah, I might not get in. Imagine you done that. Sausage check,
Aye.
you go to the airport, do your passport check. Check your sausage.
This guy's bringing a chip of that in. He's not allowed in. Can't get any sauce in that pal.
Brilliant. The wee cocktail sausages. Just for that cocktail
It's
sausages.
like that for
Why are you holding a toothpick?
That's genius. Imagine you actually got to the passport control that, put the passport away, mate. Get that.
Shows your sausage. That's how you get in.
Oh, we should end it there, shouldn't we? We'll get much better than that. Right, boys.
Right.
All right, domestic stuff. Hearts v Rangers. Derek, I'll start with you. What did you make of the game, mate?
I thought it was a game that Rangers made a lot of chances.
Yeah.
I thought they were a wee bit. I mean, I watched the game. I listened to a few of the guys commenting on it. I think you've got to give you credit to Hearts as well. It's not an easy place to go. Tynecastle, under the lights, Wednesday night. It's a game you're not going to dominate from start to finish, but within the game, they've done enough. Seema is on a great, rich vein of form at the moment.
Flying out.
He's right, so hard to pick up, coming for deep areas.
Yeah.
You know, and you can clearly see that with his goal. It should have been a wee bit more comfortable for Rangers, probably should have, but they got out of jail a wee bit because obviously a brilliant save for Butland early doors, and at the first real opportunity, and then it comes off a Tav. Aye, but Danilo, you know, I don't know, have you spoke about it too much? Because I watched a wee bit of Smart Up, but they're one-touch finishes for me, and I think the guys would have said that. I don't know, I used to do drills, and I used to watch some of the centre forwards do drills, and see around about the 6-yard box, it was one-touch finish. See for about the penalty spot, it was maybe two-touch, even if a defender, they take a touch, you just get out your body and you can maybe pass it and then run about the edge of the box. It was always a 3-touch. But the positions that he had the opportunities, you just got to strike it.
So it's a lack of confidence, that?
I don't know.
No, I think, and this is what I heard the guys talking about, and this is where I agree with them. I don't think he's a natural finisher, believe it or not.
Right.
As a centre
He misses quite a lot of chances.
He does, and what you get is like the guys in the past, the guys I played with, the John Robertsons, the Alan McCoys. If it's there and thereabouts that 6-yard box, bang, and you're not looking for finesse, you're not looking to be clever, you're just putting the laces through the ball into the back of the net. So it could have made it an easier night for Rangers, but I thought it was a decent performance, a good shift. They never shirked any responsibility through the game. 1 or 2. The biggest disappointment for me was Lawrence again. I felt sick. I don't like seeing that any player, even if it's not even a Rangers player, if it's a Motherwell, Ross Court, I don't care. I hate seeing boys that have been struggling with injuries.
They look gutted, didn't they? Proper sick.
Because you're actually gutted for them.
Yeah.
So you can see it in their face, the disappointment. So
you know, it's 1-0 where he's tried to get through.
I know.
And he's sitting finally giving up, going.
And he's been like speaking to the doctor. But Hearts had their opportunities as well.
Aye, the quality was quite. I thought the first sort of 20 minutes, a lot of people just getting the ball away, or ball was getting. But I don't know. I just, when I'm watching Hearts, I know they won that sort of the 4 games in a row.
I think both.
Still unsure on them.
I think both teams gave the ball away. I think they were slack at times, but then that comes with a wee bit of the pressure, the expectation, and something. You looked a wee bit uptight, but no. Again, from a Rangers perspective, of course, I enjoyed it, and it's just going towards the end. You know, you're thinking you've missed all the opportunities.
I know.
You're starting to get that kind of feeling, but they saw it through, and again showed that character. So it was a good night's work.
I thought Hearts started pretty well and had the chances. Shankland has the chances, but Butland's been amazing for Rangers.
Incredible.
He's been amazing.
And they need to get him sorted out, by the way, because there must be clubs doing in England. He's only signed a 2-year contract, so they need to get that sorted out. So you would be hoping behind the scenes that they're in talks with him, because he's been top drawer. Absolutely.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Aye.
You just think he's going to save everything. And the chances, Shankland's in, close in. I said this last night when I was doing the game. I think because they know it's Butland, they're trying to get it perfect.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, by the way.
Because you know it has to be good to beat him. And Vargas won at the end, as you say, when it's 1-0, you're thinking, I mean, it's a hard chance, it's fired in and he hits it first time, but you can tell he's trying to get power and direction on it. Sometimes a wee, not that you ever try and scuff the ball, but sometimes a wee.
That's a good shout. Did you ever think like that then, when you were playing up against a top goalkeeper? That then when you were in a position, you go, this is a chance. Do I really need to put this right in the corner with a wee bit more power?
I think when you're lining up even, you see the goalie in the goal and you think, he's a big guy, I need to make sure this is perfect. I don't know if it is, but I think that, you know, like the shots that they hit were all caught well, but close enough to Butland to make the save. And the one Seema's goals, it's really good for Rangers to play out of trouble. I thought the Hearts press, although they were high up the pitch, they weren't aggressive enough. And then Atkinson switches off with Seema. Seema's got the run on him anyway, but then he just stops. How many times you see a defender knowing they're not catching that run, but go and stop the ball in the line? He just stops and tries to let Kingsley deal with it, and Kingsley, he can't, because Danilo's in there.
You can see
it's a brilliant run, that, for any white player watching. Even McCausland, who I love to bits, by the way. I think he's excellent. Honestly, I think he's made such a difference to Rangers.
That's one thing I've got a bee in my bonnet about, because I thought McCausland did extremely well last night. He's been the shining light since he's come into that side. Lammers comes on.
Wow.
He plays a header.
He didn't mean.
Right, and I'm watching it, and then I see him turning, and I'm actually, so I was quite calm throughout the game, and I was raging with that. Because again, this is a player that's been constantly giving the ball away over the course of the last 10, 11 games. Then you've got a young boy, he's a young boy as well, that's been different class, and he's having a go at him for not making that
Mate,
run.
see that header though, mate, he didn't even know where that was going.
Wasn't even a
No,
good
but he
header.
didn't header it.
It wasn't
By the
even a
way,
good
McCausland
header,
hit
aye.
the bottom, and he was on the ground.
So you
he flicked it on, and he's in half.
So Faddy, you noticed that right away as well? Aye, good.
McCausland was in the Rangers half,
Aye.
on the ground. He was the one that flicked it up.
The
to
two
him.
boys were
He
sitting
needs,
there
to go, he
watching
needs
it.
to go and bring that down.
Aye.
And he flicks it on to 100 and starts moaning at him.
My two boys' reaction was poor because I was raging at that. I'm
Aye.
going like that. Because the rest of the team, and as a team, you know, it'd been quite easy for a lot of the players to start to go, oh, so in a minute, Lammers, you're no at it, and give him. They've supported him all the way through, and one thing McCausland doesn't. Oh,
But it wasn't McCausland. It wasn't that he didn't do it. He couldn't do it. It was
Because-
physically impossible.
So why is it? I know.
So when Lammers,
that
he does
reaction
it,
was
because
poor.
as you say, he's been really poor. I've made a mistake here. Just chase it. Chase it, then
That's
have a go at
it.
him.
Aye.
If you want, but then he shouldn't be having a go at him anyway. But you know what?
Aye.
If you make a mistake, you go and try and win it back,
Rectify
try and
it.
fix
Of course you
it, and
do.
then if you feel
Aye.
that somebody's knowing the position, then say, "Where were you?" And then McCausland's simply got to turn and go,
Aye.
"I was on the deck."
But
mate."
that with a young boy as well, that's going out to him. And if it wasn't his fault, I'd be going out to him saying, right, wee man, you need to make that run. Just make me look. But you don't throw the arms up, you don't point, you go out with a younger boy and you just have a wee quiet word in his ear, you know, to try and help him and all.
Aye, but it was
I
bizarre.
didn't like that.
No, it was.
Raging.
Watch it again. It's impossible.
Right,
By the way, it's
Faddy, I'm
impossible
gonna
for
watch it
any
again.
Rangers player to go on
Top me
it.
up, please.
But McCausland in particular was the guy that hit the bottom, and he was on the deck in his own half.
He is, by the way, I'll
he's
tell
been
you that
brilliant.
he's excellent.
But that might be a wee bit of insecurity for Lama
Aye.
because he's come in and he's been the main man.
God, I just thought about that there. I'm going to watch it again.
See, with Rangers missing that many sort of chances last night, do you think it's so important that they bring a striker in January?
Aye. I think that's clear. I like Danilo. I think his movement's great. He causes problems. Even the Seema goal, he pops into an area that makes it. Kingsley is that he goes, do I go tight or do I hold my position? And he's occupied by him, which allows Seema to make the run off the back of him. But the chances, the two chances he has, you need to, and that's no. Sometimes you're commentating a game and you go, oh, he's got to score there. He has to score there.
Yeah.
He has to score. The first one drops
Sweep it into
beautifully
the
from
net.
him.
Just sweep it into the net.
It's a perfect,
I know.
no pace on it, perfect height. Just pass it into the net, smash it into the net. Just get a connection on it. You're scoring. And then the second one that's when you see about what you're saying about a striker's instinct. When the ball's coming and you know the goalies are beyond you, you only need to put it in the back of the net and you're taking a touch again.
The game I was watching, it was Kenny. Kenny Miller was commentating on it, and Kenny was absolutely spot on because he just says that. He says that's one touch finishes. He just turning. He says you don't even think about the touch. Why is he even thinking about the touch? So you can tell that Kenny Miller, natural finisher, couldn't believe that he was even wanting to take a touch.
Aye.
There's been a lot. I mean, Shankland, his name's been sort of ringing about for a while, but I think this week especially it's heated up. Miofsky seems to be the one. Even Celtic, seems like Celtic and Rangers are looking to bring him in. Do you think he's...
Miofsky's a player.
Do you sign him?
I think Miofsky's 24, I think.
Which is a good age, great age.
Much would they go for? Much would Aberdeen sell him for?
What did they bring him in for? I'm not even sure.
It was under £1 million they brought him in.
They'll be looking 3 to 5 million for him.
I think especially in January, 5 million I think for Miofsky.
Aye.
What about Shankland?
Well, the chairman will be looking
far
for
off of that. I think Hearts will be far off it because the issue is who they're going to get. The thing is, let's say Shankland goes to Rangers and Miofsky goes to Celtic. Van Veen's on his way back. He's going to be rubbing his hands because that would be a tug of war between Aberdeen and Hearts.
Aye. It's.
Although I'd like to see, but
I didn't realise. I thought he was a wee bit older than that. Miofsky. I said I didn't
He's
realise.
24, aye.
Is it? It's a great age.
He's
and he scores last night, but it's just offside. But some of his finishes are once he gets in there.
I think the way that Aberdeen are playing as well, they're a lot direct. He's isolated. They're trying to find a partner to play with him. He's going into a team that, if it's Celtic, that they've got Owen KYOGO, who are going to go away for the Asia Cup, so he's going to get a run of games, and it's a team that wants to attack and build the play. If it's Rangers, it's a team that's missing a guy that's going to put the ball in the back of the net. We're talking about the chances missed, so he's going to get chances. If he gets chances, same with Shankland.
You're right.
If they get chances, they'll score goals.
Aye, they too. They're a must. See, just on Hearts, as I said earlier, they win the went 4 on the bounce there. I don't know what it is. I don't. See, when I'm watching this, I don't really know what they're trying to do, or I don't know. I don't know if they're in. I don't really recognise. See, when you're going to Time Castle and you're playing Hearts, you know it's going to be a tough game. I don't really feel that with this Hearts team. Is that a bit harsh, do you think?
I think
maybe because they're a wee bit more patient. The guys were talking about again that there could be a wee bit of that. I just always think at Tynecastle, and it's just my opinion, under like you need to get after sides, irrespective of whether it's Rangers, Celtic, whoever. You've got to get after them. I think the fans demand that, and they demand that endeavour, that aggressiveness, certainly at Tynecastle, and maybe just the way that Naismith's got them set up is they're not really like that. They're just, it's a wee bit kind of a slower build up.
I thought, you seen last night after the ball, Derek, I thought they were sort of pressing, but it was what you said, it wasn't when they were getting there, they weren't aggressive, were they, to win it back?
They were in good positions to go and press, like the ball comes for a goal kick to Goldson, it kind of gets the ball stuck.
Butland was winning it back.
So, there, I think Tagawa was a yard off him. Go, force it. But then, when he does that, and his only passes to Tavernier, I think it's Cochrane. You have to be up there, because the only pass he's got, if you're there or on your way, you might win it, or he'll kick it out of the park. It's alright being there and saying, right, we're going to press, we're going to be high up, and we've got players in position, this is where we are for restarts. You need to go and commit to it, or else you're not going to win it. Tavernier plays a 1-2 with McCausland in there, and beats 3 men with it.
Aye.
And then there's no pressure on Tavernier. The back line's caught out. Seema makes a brilliant run and it's a really good finish, but if you're going to go and press, you need to be aggressive with it. You need to go and really commit to it. And look, sometimes you'll go there and you'll get it wrong, but if you go and jockey, you're not pressing then, are you? And you're getting played round. So I think that's, you can see that's what they're trying to do, and you can see that's what Stephen A. Smith wants, and they'll get it right. Obviously, you win 4 games in a spin, you're doing something right.
And obviously, Lowry and Boyce weren't playing earlier last night, so that's a big miss as well.
I think that you can see what they're trying to do. They've chances as well early in the game. Makes it a different game if they go in. But you can see what they're trying to do. It's just like you said, when you're Hearts, you're expecting full aggression, pressure, winning tackles, getting the crowd up behind you, making you look like a team that are going to go and win the game. And I think when you look at overall, the Hearts had a couple of chances, Rangers had loads. It could have been.
A positive sign though. Barry Mackay come back.
Aye. Well, their bench looked better last night. Gordon was back in the bench. Halkett, Barry Mackay.
Gordon and Halkett. Good, by the way. Good players.
And that's what you need to do.
Beningame still maybe not his best, isn't he?
He was off a wee bit, wasn't he, last night?
It's clear to kind of see that, but so he's got more to come. So
I think that's still an area for them though. Because Beningame, once he does get a run of games, but he needs other people in run about to help him. I don't think Boyd Neuenhoff.
I think we've touched on that.
So right, Cammy Devlin's a bit of go and run about.
Yeah, I get after people. Maybe a wee bit more quality.
Need a wee bit more quality in the middle, but if they lose Shankland in January, then they've got a big dilemma. And Boyce can play there, but Boyce seems to be more comfortable playing as a number 10 in support. So I would say they still need to go and get a 9.
I just like the way Shankland goes about his business now. He goes about that
so strong, isn't he?
He knows, he's got that, I don't know, you just see that about players, all of a sudden, he's got that about his game. He knows he's good, he knows he's strong, he knows he's got the touch, he knows he can finish. It's that belief. There's nothing better when you see players like that, and they're showing that. It's a great...
See, when you went to Hearts, Derek, and you played Rangers, did you struggle playing against Rangers?
In terms of what?
Like
going after them?
No, because you used to play with them, or...?
No, it made you even... want to get after them a wee bit more and probably try and prove a point, show, why they let you go. Didn't always pan out that way, I can assure you that, but no, not at all, no, you get after them. People go, it's because it's your old club, the club you supported, you'll no be at them, no, it can actually go the other way, you're trying harder, which can happen. But no, the games were brilliant, and that's what I loved when I was at Hearts. And I love playing at Tynecastle because that side I played, and we're getting back years and years ago, there was a real physicality about us, a real fitness. We were, I've said this before, I walked into that dressing room I was taking my top off, I put it back on. Because they were all like, oh, they're ripped, by the way. They were all like middleweight boxers. And I remember wee Doddy with Alan McDonald saying, it'll take you at least 6 months to get into the same nick as them. So I had to stay behind after training and go up in the gym and do circuits and all that. These guys, and Big Craigie was a big Craig Levine and all that, the Gary Mackay's. And not so much with Robbo. Maybe Robbo never had it, was he? He was the one that, because he was the quickest guy over a yard or two. But that was the one thing I noticed, that well, their fitness was phenomenal. So I didn't have that fitness because at Rangers, and this is where I get a bit lazy, because we always had the ball, because we always had good players, and that's where I get lazy, where I should have been working harder at the other sides of my game. But you see, because you get the ball,
you need to win it back. You just got it back. So, but at Hearts, then I had to become the hunter. So I had to get after people, and I'll be honest with you, I quite enjoyed that side of the game.
Tynecastle is brilliant, mate.
Tynecastle's a great place to play, mate. But especially under the lights.
Mate, I remember when I was 15, me and Bob McHugh, we were in, was it Mark McGee? Mark McGee called us up. I think it was one of the last games of the season, just to get in. I think he was just giving us a wee taste for it, because we'd done well that season. And me and him went to warm up, and see the abuse we got. 15-year-old.
Dogs abuse.
Man, I'm not joking, I've never heard it like that.
You didn't?
Didn't it? Go to the tunnel and turn right. Doing that. Doing that wee corner. Aye, they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah, but you've got to embrace it, and that's part of the game you've got to embrace, because you know that as soon as you step outside, it's coming to you.
Because I'd always played obviously just youth football, so you were never aware of that.
I've changed my views on that, you know, because I used to say, well, when you go out there, it's acceptable, fans should absolutely give you dogs. I don't agree with that now.
Because your boys played?
Aye. No, because I've been at games and I see what the managers get, the coaches and all that, and it's, it can go too far.
It does seem like the only industry though that it happens. See when you go to, I think Size says before, if you go to a tennis game, or you don't see fans act like that. No. Why isn't football, it seems if it's acceptable for fans to go there and do it?
It's tennis players that are doing it now.
They're fighting back at
fans, isn't it?
But I just find that mental. Look, sometimes I remember I was at a Celtic game, and there was a guy, and he had like a Ralph Lauren, like a fleece on. He was a posh guy, and he's slaughtering people. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't as if it was this guy who was blutered or... And I can't believe it, just seems like...
How was he saying it in the posh
dead posh, he was still saying it. I was dead posh, still saying it, but I'm like...
You bloody rascal. Was he doing all that? You rascal.
But it just seems like that was the only industry though that...
I know, it's...
I think because, as you say, you hadn't been used to it, but I'm sure when you came into first team, then it was just normal. You just knew you were getting it, and I liked it more during the game. See when the fans were having a go at you. Everywhere I went, I'd get slaughtered, and I just used to think, brilliant.
Did you like that? Did you?
Use that as your motivation.
If they thought you were rubbish, they'd shout. They probably would still shout, but not as much.
I'm interested to know what you deem posh. Because my posh might be different.
No, it was just the accent. Still swearing and that. I can't obviously repeat what the guy said, but a lot of swearing. But I remember staring at the guy for a right good bit, thinking.
So maybe brought up.
He looked like a doctor or something.
Because he had a Ralph Lauren fleece on.
I know.
I know. It's funny you say.
It's funny you say.
Seen this posh guy had a Ralph Lauren fleece on. Must have been a doctor.
So the doctors on that about me, Ralph Lauren taps on and all that.
But what was the worst game you've been to, or which stadium or which set of fans do you find the worst you got abused for? Or you, Derek, as well? Anywhere you hated
I used to get it, see when I was a sub in England, I used to get it probably everywhere.
What sort of things? I know you can't really say.
Well, just for being Scottish. I mind once I got, I think they were playing Newcastle, and I can't really, so basically shouted something about me being a Scouser. And I turned and went, I'm Scottish. And they went, that's worse.
Where did you say back to that?
I just laugh. I just think when you get that interaction, a lot of it is like, it's not great, but some of it's
banter. Some
it's banter, so you'll never win against a fan in the terraces. You'll never win.
Did it be any places you hated going?
It was when I was playing in the lower leagues with Alaba, maybe with Hamilton or that. There's only about 400 people. You're aware to take a corner kick.
Hear everything.
You know, and there's only that wee pole between you and their and your they're right on your shoulder and they're absolutely giving it to you.
Aye.
And sometimes that's what you've got. You have a wee look at them, but inside you just laugh.
Yeah, see, I don't know, mate. I think see if I was going to hit a corner and I felt them on me, I'd have been like, somebody else take that. I don't think so, mate.
No, of course I try to put you off, isn't they? Of course.
But then he's saying that it made him actually want to play better.
Aye, that's that. That's what you'd say.
So,
have you put a decent ball in? Have you put a decent corner in? Somebody goes in, flicks it into the back and it powers it in. You just turn on them, then you just smile.
Enjoy it.
I had it
just
once
walk
at
away.
Everton, after an Everton fan when I was warming up.
No way, home fans.
I was warming up and somebody shouted at the crowd, "You don't even look like you want to get on. Come on, get on in."
How does that look? What kind of look is that?
Must have thought I wasn't warming up hard enough. It's like, come on.
Did you tell me? Did you say that?
Just that.
But there's a wee guy, I'm sure I could be right here, like when I warmed up at Tynecastle, because I was there, I don't even know how I ended up always on the bench at Tynecastle. I never played any games, but I just seemed to have always a sub there. I always remember when we went out to the warm-up, there was always a Hearts fan that done the warm-up with you. Do you ever remember that? No?
Well, what?
Yeah, I'm not. So see where his seat was, where the away team came in.
He used to run up and down.
So see when the boys are doing like you get the 2 lines or 3 lines and you're going up and down, he done the full warm-up with the team. But I'm sure Si and Andy might have been with this man, they've seen him as well.
Right,
Sure. Anyway,
magic.
If you think any, they'll get back to us. Rangers announced a new director of football, Nils Coppin from PSV. We know much about him?
I don't.
No.
I don't really. But I know that's to answer your question.
It's important that though there's somebody that comes in there who's
in this
good
day and age, of course, is because a manager's got enough to deal with, hasn't he? With players, media. So then again, to go and look at players, and I get that it's different. They get the data in and all that, and then they look at the videos. Of course, the final decision should be with the manager, but I think it's important. Now, football's moved on, and it feared the, you know, and there's players that they've got to look at for all over the world. I mean, Celtic are the prime example, you know, with all the Asian boys that have come in.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And look, they've been a success. So it's important to go and look at all these places. So you need these guys in the door to be doing that job.
There's rumours that a few of them get told to leave. Dessers.
I saw the rumours as well, and then I asked a question to somebody and they says it was nonsense.
Oh, is it?
So it was just kind of.
There'll be players leaving. 100%.
It'd be hard to get some of them out.
Because the thing is, for me, right, and someone like Dessers, for example, surely he's not happy that he's not playing, and as a player, you want to be playing.
Aye.
So if you get the opportunity even to go out and loan, I'm taking it, because I'm frustrated if I'm sitting there and I'm not getting a chance. So as a football player, short career, you want to play as much as you can. So Yilmaz got his opportunity last night. Did he take it? No, for me. I just think he lacks in certain areas.
I thought he's poor last night.
I don't think he was that great. I don't think his answer there. So maybe it'd be better for Yilmaz and maybe Dessers or a few of the guys. I don't know who else was mentioned. Is it Dow? Dow was one of them. Because he's no figured, you know. So as a player, are you happy just sitting there taking the money? I don't know what they're like. For me, no, you're no, because you want to. You train to play at the end of the week.
But the thing is as well for Rangers, if they've got players they're not using, they'll not be like on wee wages. They'll be on good money. So they need to get players out, because he's tried different players. I know it is. I know.
It's got to be loans.
But they need to get players out, because they need to strengthen. The players have got at the minute. When they're playing, they're showing they're no capable, they're not good enough. So they have to get them out. I think guys like Dessers, Lammers, there will always be somebody that will take them, because they've been players that have moved about quite a bit. So you will always get people to take them. I think the Rangers will need to take a hit on them though.
There'll be a manager, a coach, what you're saying, Faddy, that they'll think and get a tune on them, won't they? And that's how you're always, didn't they?
They always do. But they maybe need to take a hit, but you just need to take it and say, look, don't be stubborn and say, no, they'll come good. Just, if you can get some of the money back, take the money and invest it better, and bring better players in, because that's chopping and changing, and the manager's doing the right thing. He's giving them an opportunity. He's wanting to see them and see how they cope with it. But come January and definitely in the summer, I think there'll be big changes.
So with the Lammers, Dessers, even Yilmaz, in my opinion, they've been brought in high fees. They're not getting value for money.
No.
So there'll be somebody out there, and that's what Fad.
Yeah, Yilmaz is one I'd maybe loan, because I think he needs to play to develop and get better at. he does a lot of good things for me.
And he does a lot.
But when his final ball is no great, so but you can only get better at that way playing games.
The one thing with me last night, the one he gets megged. I mean, he's square on. I mean, that's basics. And I just laughing, aren't you? But the one he gets megged, and I'm thinking, why are you going out and you're going square on? Show him where you want him to go. Do you want to show him to touch, or you want to show him inside? But just wee things, and he's used to the ball at times. He's erratic. Yeah. He gets a great opportunity. That's the other one. Slashes at it. You know, just hit the target, get it done. So I just think for the money he came in, and I don't think it's been good value for money. And for him and for everybody connected, it could be better for him to go out on loan, go somewhere and go and play football and develop, because he is still, I get it, he's still a young guy, but he's not going to develop physically. And I don't think Clement, it's just my view that type of play, he's his cup of tea.
Celtic Hibs. Last night I was a wee bit surprised when I seen Owen starting. He obviously starts, gets the 2 goals. Does he suit Rodgers' style more than KYOGO does?
Well, I think his second goal is because of that physicality. Is maybe one that KYOGO would have got there quicker and wouldn't have needed to get in the physical side of it. I think he deserved his chance. Because he came on and he done well against Johnston. And KYOGO's, I hear people saying KYOGO's struggling. He's touching the ball the same amount of times as what he did last year. He was just scoring goals last year. He's never wanted to get involved in the build-up.
How do you think he has like scoring as much goals?
I don't think they look enough for him. I think that another point of the team having the Wata and is a deeper one and allowing Callum McGregor to get further forward. As soon as Callum McGregor gets the ball, he looks forward. You see him for O's second goal. It's a forward pass. Yeah. If you're at a game and KYOGO's playing, he makes run after run after run. The ball's not played. By that point, the play is built up, and it's harder to obviously find a bit of space if you're not getting in behind and flashing that ball across, what we're used to seeing. But O came in and took his chance. His first goals, obviously, probably doesn't know too much about it. That's exactly what you need as a striker.
That's a striker.
You know what I mean? It's a wee bit of luck.
Looked a bit raging, didn't he? Vickers.
Aye.
He needs to lighten up a wee bit, didn't he? The boys went into the back of the net. He looked raging, didn't he? Did you see that? You don't notice that? That was a lot.
Because I think it was maybe after the celebration, he's thinking, I look a wee bit daft here, I've just went and celebrated, it's not my goal. The big goal was away.
As soon as he just skipped him and he's away. You can imagine what he's thinking inside.
But KYOGO got back in?
Aye, he will. But I think that's what O's been needing, because at times he's played, actually looked good, but no scored, and people are going, don't know what he brings, doesn't really score goals. So for him to come in and get a couple of goals, it will do him the world of good. But I think the moving McGregor forward,
I seen that
definitely made a difference, because he can affect the game.
Because he has been getting a bit of criticism this season, McGregor. Which maybe that is
strange. Aye. But it's the levels that he's played. That's maybe because at the levels he's played at early years, and maybe he has a slight that if he's had that. No, I don't think he has really. You know, I think it's maybe, I don't know. Just I've saw a couple of wee incidents where maybe people look and go, oh, he's losing a wee bit of pace. He's not as sharp, but he reads it. It's up there. He reads it again. I didn't. Did you watch the whole Celtic game?
Just the highlights. I watched it.
I just saw the highlights as well. I was just wondering, did Hibs sit in a bit more against them? No, did they try and...
Hibs played the way they
played. They normally play.
Try to play out. And people look and say he needs to change it. He's done it at Ibrox, he's done it at Celtic Park. He's going to keep doing it, and he'll do it. And he's getting rewards against the other teams, because they're in good form. And he'll be using that as a learning experience to say, look, we'll get better at it. And you need to believe when you go to these places that you stick to your principles. So I don't mind. I really don't mind it. People will look and criticise, but I don't mind it. Hibs are better going forward.
So do you not think they should maybe sort of...
I don't think it's costing them at the minute. See if you're in a bad run of form, and if you're trying it against the rest of the league and it's not working, then I could understand, look, we can't be as open, we need to change. But he's clearly got a style of play that he believes in. He's trying to get the players to believe in it as well. I think especially the modern player, any kind of, if you deviate for that, is a wee bit of, the players will go, well, why are we doing it then? If,
Right.
You know, I think so. I don't mind it. I think that considering they're not his players, he's still trying to play it. When he gets the players in that he wants, he'll believe they can get better at it.
So do you think that's what he's just counting down the days now to get to January to get his own players in?
And great that he's playing some of the younger boys.
Aye.
I love that. Aye.
Innit?
He's always done that, even
Was
in
it
Australia, he's done
16-year-old,
that.
17-year-old? That's different class.
What areas does he and January need to strengthen?
Defence.
Aye, at the back, aye. If he gets better players in, you know, even better defensively, but the use of the
can
ball,
play.
that Faddy's talking about, that's what they're looking to do, innit? He's got a style of play, he's going to stick to it. He ain't going to deviate, but I think it's nice that he's had a look at the young ones as well. And thought, by the way, I think he could handle that. Throw him in.
Well, I do love it, like even when with Ange and that, you see Ange going to the Etihad and he sort of keeps playing, even regardless who's out, he's still playing that style. But then I look at, I just think with Boyle and Johan, like, you could set up well to hit the counter.
Aye.
I don't know, that's just maybe...
Aye. No,
No,
with that
definitely
pace,
could.
aye.
But it's not how he plays. So you're setting up
Aye.
for one game on the count.
And if that's not who he is,
Aye.
a coach,
and
how's
they're
he
not
going
good enough to sit in maybe in so
defensively, aye.
I think
So-
it was.
Nah, yeah,
we
you're
used
right.
to say this with Ange all the time, but I think Brendan Rodgers had a quote: "He'd rather lose a game trying to win than trying not to get beat."
Trying to, aye.
And he's obviously the same. He wants to win a game his way. Well, I've had this before. If a manager's so set in their principles of play, and they change it, so say Hibs stay sitting and hitting the counter, and they get beat. The manager's got to turn around and go, well, I'd be as well playing the way I want to play and get beat,
And at least try to get...
and try and get better at it.
No, I think it's really refreshing. I think it's actually amazing to see. Because that is what you sort of, even growing up, every sort of team that comes to sort of Celtic Park or Rangers, they are sitting in, aren't they? Sitting...
There's nothing wrong with it for me. If you're a team that adapts to your opposition, that's fine. The point is, Nick Montgomery's obviously a guy that wants to build for the back, and he wants to play good football, and he wants to play attacking football. So he's going to stick to it. But if a manager, if he does change and he wants to hit the counter, I wouldn't be critical of that. Yeah. That's his prerogative. It's just that people look at it and say, well, you got beat and you get beat 4-1, so you should have changed. But he doesn't believe in that. Maybe he just feels that this is the way I want to play. I'm not going to change. The players will get better at it. They will get results. And I think he's shown that the mentality is the same no matter who you're playing. You need to be better. You need to take more care of the ball. You need to use it better against better players. But the mentality will be the same no matter who they're playing. I think, especially the way that football is now, that's the way it's going.
Brilliant.
As you say, with Ange and down in England, they keep
nuts.
saying, you can't keep playing like this. We all done it. You can't do that. He needs to change. He needs to be more defensive. He's not going to do it because that's what he believes in. That's how he sets his teams up. Doesn't matter who they play, and he believes they'll get results. But he believes that through performance and approach and your attitude to the game, you will get results if you perform. It looks like Nick Montgomery's the same mindset that I'm going to play how I want to play, and I'll get results. I'll get more good results than bad results playing the way I want to play.
I like it, I do. I like it a lot.
I do as well. I think it's easy to say change. You need to change. Why? Because everybody else wants me to change.
And you might sit and get beat anyway,
sit in and get beat 1-0.
Feel that you've maybe got a wee different side there there. Don't know if you're not
No, it's like, listen, that's what I was just wondering, you know, if he just was a wee bit kind of more restrained, you know, in their approach, but it's clear to hear that they weren't, you know. I just see the highlights, you know, so it's got his philosophy, stick to it, but within that philosophy, until you get the players in that is going to improve it. I love the fact that he's going to bring in some of the younger boys as well, because we've got a lot of talent, and we don't allow them. We always look to play the experienced player. No, throw them in. So it's good that Montgomery's got that mindset as well. Had a good look at them, hasn't he? Throw them in.
Talk about how he's bringing players in. Rodgers seems to always be talking about needs to add more quality. Will Celtic recruit in January?
Have to.
Do you think? So see the route of Europe though now. Do you think this squad's good enough to?
Aye, but you always need to progress. Rangers will go and strengthen in January.
Right.
Aye, I think that you need to get players. You're always. I'm not saying Celtic need to go and sign loads of players, but I think every team will look to do business in January. Very rare do you see a manager going, "Nah, I'm happy with what I've got."
What areas do you think? Because I'm unsure. See, when I look at Celtic's team, I always struggle to think who's coming out of there.
But it's not about who's coming out, it's who's coming in either to make that player better or if that player's not available. So
better quality squad.
Starting 11 would be your midfield, your back four, your midfield. The team would be nailed on, but they're not available at the minute. So there's players needing to
Tell you what, you'll do well to keep a hold of O'Reilly.
He's flying, mate.
Aye, telling you, there'll be a few, no just for here, down south, there'll be a few abroad. I'll be having a look at him.
Palmer, that's a great sign as well, isn't it?
But Roger said the last time at the European game, it's quality. Still wants better quality. So there's not going to be 3 or 4 coming in. I think 1 or 2, I think at most. Because I agree with you, what you're saying. They probably think they've got enough to get out of the line, but it's not good enough with the European exploits. So he'll want quality in the
coming up as well.
He wants to work with better quality. That's right, you should be talking about it. How there might be guys like Amayovsky, come in, a Shanklin, who knows, but better than what they've got. That's the important thing, isn't it? It's like every team, that's what you strive for.
I was actually, see when I said I was looking at Mikey Johnson.
But as well as doing, that's why I was touching on the boy O'Reilly. Because
he could be that going the other way.
Aye. Therefore.
Because that is what it is, it's Celtic, they bring players in then to sell them on, don't they?
But I think in January Celtic will let players go they want to leave. I don't think, if they get a bid for O'Reilly, I think they would keep a hold of him at least to the summer. But I think any team, as I said, you're looking to strengthen. You look at the game last night, the impact at the weekend, coming on, doing well, Iwata playing last night, playing well as that anchor in midfield, allowing McGregor to get further forward. Does that solve a wee problem? I think Brendan spoke after the game and said he's been trying to get Iwata in the team, but he's had a few injuries. He's not been able to get a good run of training and ready to play, but he comes in. So is that an area where probably before last night you're thinking, well, they need to get a wee bit of physicality, a bit of legs in midfield? Probably still need to do that to really, strengthen the squad. You've got to bring guys in that are going to push these guys to either deal with that pressure of somebody coming in to take their place and their levels rise.
By the way, I was actually happy because I like Mikey Johnson as a player. He excites me. I always love a winger who, when the first thoughts to get at somebody, and I think with Mikey Johnson, I remember seeing this a few years ago. I bet he sees Celtic play, and the first sort of 10 minutes he was getting he gave the ball away a few things. But when he got it, he still tried to commit players and still tried to do the right thing. So I was excited when I seen him play. But then after the game, Rodgers' interview, I don't know what this.
What did he say?
He just said that he needs to do more. He needs to make much more an impact. And when he's starting games, he went, anybody can come on as a sub and play well if you need to get a goal or whatever. They can do that. But when you start here, you need to be producing more.
He had a wee bit to go on Sunday as well. No, he just says he needs to get better tactically. But what we want off the ball.
And then he said as well at the end, he said if he's going to play, if when he plays more, and then he changed it and went, if he plays more games, and it was a wee bit, but maybe that's what he thinks is the best way of getting it. I don't know.
That's probably without the ball. That's what Faddy's saying. He's saying tactically he needs to be more astute, more aware of what's going on round about him, because sometimes as the way he's been brought up, an out and out winger, just as soon as he gets the ball, get people sights. He is a good player, but that's the game's moving on, isn't he? So he's got to be.
The boy McLaughlin, he's back the pitch all the time.
But even on the ball, like you say, I like it as well because it shows a mentality that you're going to keep trying. But he's 24, so as you get older, your decision making has to get better. When you dribble, when you come inside, like how you're going to affect the game. No, just I'm going to keep playing like I'm 17. And
maybe that's
Rodgers said that.
The issue, the problem that it needs to kick on now. Because
of course it does.
Well, Rodgers said that he's not young. He isn't young anymore. That's what Rodgers actually said.
If you come into the team as a sub, you're coming on with a freedom and no as much pressure.
I think that's my issue. I need to move on. I need to stop thinking I'm 18.
You're into meals and that quite nice.
That's me. I'm tactically astute. I'm more aware of my surroundings now.
Decision making's on point, isn't
it? My decision making's got to be a bit better.
But you're getting a lot of he-has the other day. You remember that? A lot of he-has. I mean, what about him in the group chat the other day, the stuff that's coming in?
I know there's not enough. input into that. So I've come away from it a wee bit. I've been
Got
putting
these
it,
standards
and then
and setting that, mate. Nobody can live up
and then
to
I've
that.
just come out a wee bit of that.
I'll tell you, by the way, the wee man's no slowing these interviews, isn't he, no, Rodgers?
No.
Mate, he's no holding back this time at all.
I think there's a wee sense of frustration.
I said it on the podcast, I didn't mind the one of St John's. I think it's Celtic, you demand standards all the time, so I didn't mind that. I just find a wee bit of being a lot of the interviews sort of when they get beat or the bad results a wee bit, not got the quality, and I get that. Get behind the scenes. I don't know, I see Ange going to with Spurs and he's got millions of players that never ever, you don't really hear it a lot from him. I don't know, it just feels a lot.
If the standards drop and the message has been, the players have been told, then it is maybe just a wee bit a reminder, look, your standards need to be so high, either to get in the team, because see when you're no a regular and you're sitting and you're training well and you feel like you're doing everything, you're coming on, you're doing well, you're starting games, you're doing alright, maybe, you know, try to find your way in, and then you're maybe no sure of the actual chance you've got. If the players on the coming in and taking that chance whilst these players are out, then I think you have got a right to say, look, you've got an opportunity here. You're going to get a chance in the team. This is what you've been training for, what you've been waiting for, and you're not taking it. And if it's the same players that are not taking the same chances you're getting, then you need better players because they're not ready to take it.
I think, but I think there's a lot of quality in Celtic's squad. A day. Maybe
he's called out. That's what you're saying. He's called out a few of them already. But maybe it's a wee cry for help, saying, "Listen, I'm not happy with these guys, but I've come in. I want just what I'm saying. I want better. I want better through the door." So maybe he's just trying to make a point as well.
It's no criticism for criticism's sake either. It's telling players what's the demand. And look, in the media, there's a demand for that as well, because you play with Celtic, you're going to come under scrutiny. So the manager's just laying it down and saying this is what's expected.
What do you always hear about good teams? It's always certain players that kind of drive the levels up in training, and you could see from the outside looking in, you could see that at Celtic. So there looks like there's a few of them that are no at that level, are no willing to go and push themselves. And if you're not going to push yourself, you're not going to find yourself.
You heard Callum McGregor, didn't you, in his post-match interview? Because the manager gave us our character at half-time, and that was good. We needed that. It's the angriest I've seen him, but we needed it.
You sure it was the angriest he's ever been in football, wasn't it?
So, some players like it, some don't.
Wow. By the way, what about last night's turn of events?
Unbelievable.
Aberdeen second bottom of the table. I can't believe that.
I can't believe it enough with the quality of player that they've got at their disposal. So that they shouldn't be in that position. They should not. That's it. If you look at through their squad, they were talking about the players they've got up top as well. In the middle of the park, talented boys. They're no use, right? In my opinion. Giants made a lot of changes as well, but they shouldn't be in that position. No way, man.
So shall you say no use, right? Giants like they're playing too direct, or?
I think there's mixed messages maybe in there. You know, I've watched them. I've not watched them a lot live, so maybe it's unfair to me to comment. But just when you see the highlights and you watch the sports scene and all that, you know, it's mixed messages. Sometimes it's a thump up the park. Sometimes they maybe try to play in the middle. I don't know. Maybe the players they're kind of no sure. They're kind of starting to go, what are we? What is the identity? How are we playing? But I just think you've got a lot of the talented boys. Use them more. Get them in certain positions where they can go and thrive.
He doesn't fancy Barron, doesn't he? No, never seems to play.
I think the issue is they've had that many games.
A lot of injuries.
They've had a lot of the obviously European games where there's a bit of travel, and I know people don't like that as an excuse, but you're playing an away game and you're playing Palk, and you're getting a good result. You're needing to do the travel. All you're doing is recovering. You're not actually getting time to work, so you're not able to get exactly what you want across to the players. You're also having to manage a squad, so the team is changing, and the dynamics of the team changes. If it's, I thought Sokler and Miofsky looked like a good partnership in the making.
He didn't play, did he?
No, he didn't play. But Duke and Miofsky's a different partnership because they don't play as a partnership. Duke kind of floats into that left, and Miofsky kind of plays as a lone striker, and Duke's a wee bit of a floater. So for me, that would be the start. Now, once you get to January, if Miofsky goes, then that's a different proposition. But they're not able to have a consistent team selection, the consistent work on the training ground to get that message across, and they're struggling for it. But I'm not saying that was the reason last night, because they didn't have a midweek game. You know, they weren't the, you know, they had time to maybe prepare, and a wee bit more time than normal. But they've got a massive couple of games coming up. They've got Hearts, they've got Frankfurt at home, which they're out of Europe, so you'll be able to rest people, mess about a wee bit with that, or rest people for the massive game, which is the League Cup final. And I said this last night, Aberdeen are a team that have had, you know, top 3, second place, third place, fourth place finishes. What they want is to win a trophy. So they're in a final, they've got a chance to win a trophy, but they shouldn't be anywhere near.
Concentrating their bread and butter, I know. It's a bread and butter. The fans turned up last night at Pittodrie expecting the side to win. And when's the last time they've won? At home?
Yeah, they've won one game all season at home.
Oh, there you go. So that's your bread and butter. So that's what it's all about. It's about the league and all that. So why are they putting all their eggs in the one basket with this cup final? What if that goes tits up?
No, I don't know if they are. I just think
that's fair comment. But do you know what I mean?
I don't think they're putting them all. Look, like cup final. I think they're trying to get it.
But that's what I'm trying to say, Faddy. And they shouldn't be.
No.
Because these guys that pay their season ticket books, they pay good money to go and watch a team, and they're not performing. Was that the right call? Take that back.
That's amazing, isn't it? I don't think you're going to see it.
Yeah, like that. I should use that in this app as well. Don't know, Mike's got a wee bit of tits up.
But do you know who is a supporter? And
100%.
Or else is it some of the players are not handling the pressure? Because it does, you feel that up there. I certainly think so at Aberdeen, because you know, the expectation, there is a pressure on the players, but there's a pressure on the manager as well. So, and I know he's tried to deflect it a wee bit. So the last couple of interviews saying that he's dealt with all that all his career. That was as a player. A player's totally different from being a manager. Yeah. So you've got to take that on board. That is, sometimes as a player you can hide behind certain things and all that. I can't remember Barry getting overly criticised as a player, because he was a good football player. There's no doubt about that. But he's struggling a wee bit at the minute, management wise. So I tell you what, it's time to stand up and be counted. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it just seems like this cup final, get the cup final out your mind. Start winning games of football. No. That's your job, and they're not doing it. And you seen the reaction last night.
They didn't they? They booed him after.
Quite rightly so, because they expect better.
Is Rubic suspended though? I think he might have been suspended.
He was. I was just thinking last night. I wonder if they should go to.
You're talking about the goal, aren't you?
By the way, that's the goal of the season. That's the goal of the season. Doesn't get beat.
Incredible.
Class goal.
Mate, that is genius.
Aye.
The Neil McCann thing he was trying to flip it.
What did they say?
As he watched it, went, I tell you what, he's got a wee bit lucky with that touch. What a finish. And I'm like, as soon as that was on the first view, and then he saw it again, he's like, oh, he's meant it.
And credit to Hingme, and McInnes has done that, because he brought him into the side last season as well. I think he was a wee bit critical because they'd only put him into the under 19s. When he ranks, he should be in the 21s at least. Showed his, because take away the goals, that goal last night, he's a good midfield player. He's got a good work ethic and he can play a bit. So as again, McInnes spotted that in him and right away throws him in. There's again another young boy, we're talking about the Hibs boys, and what a top goal.
I think that's goal of the season. I don't think
it's a beauty.
I'm telling you.
The touch is magic, because I don't think it's a great, because he's actually stretching and he just has to kill it, you know, and then just on the wee spinning.
But the finish, the touch is incredible, but it's a half forward side foot.
He does, doesn't he?
Into the top bin.
Aye.
With power.
Different gravy.
But see, he is a brilliant midfielder, and you probably look at him and say, loads of energy, loves a tackle, will take the ball, but he's shown that quality and composure in the box.
There you go,
at a moment where it's the last kick of the ball.
And that's it, in moments, and it's great when a young player like that, because he is a quality player, that he can show that. Because a lot of the time he doesn't maybe get himself into the types of positions because of what he does for the team. So it was lovely to see that last night. That's
but you know,
finish.
Massive credit to Stu Finlay, who stops. I think it was a couple of minutes before
that tackle.
What a tackle that is, isn't it?
Aye.
He's just giving me. I think it was Milky, wasn't it? He's going through to score.
Aye, you got to get that. Absolutely spot on, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Top draw. And that's sometimes what we forget. You know, we always talk about the goal scorers and the magic moments, but there you go, defensively. 2 sides to the game, isn't there?
I thought you were going to talk about when Big Stu went up with the heat shut his eyes. Basic, innit? Don't shut your eyes, big man.
Mate, I fancied him for that header as well. I really
He just missed times. He just missed times.
By the way, defender of the year for me as well.
Aye.
Stu Finlay, aye, and goal of the year with.
Is he your pal?
Already?
Is he your pal?
Obviously.
The big fella?
He comes on the show, he's brilliant.
Does he?
Brilliant,
Obviously.
big boy. Brilliant. Honestly, I've always said, I used to, at Celtic, we were in sort of, he came through and we were in reserves, and best player you could coach. Coach's dream. Just wants to do everything, always stays back to do more, and
Who
brilliant.
did he go to down in England? He disappeared.
Was
No,
it?
he went to America, didn't he?
Was it
He went in America, but it was in England, was it Button?
Was it? And then that's what I'm going to say. Fair
Philadelphia,
play to
aye.
McInnes, bringing him back in.
Great signing.
In the door, he's got Gary Mackay-Stevens.
Aye.
Got him. Good.
Aye, cracking signing.
Some decent players, isn't he?
Done some job. he's done
Watkins,
there, mate.
Armstrong.
And they've got Celtic
Watkins
Sunday.
last night.
By the way, could that be a red?
That's a red
Aye,
card.
it should be.
I thought I'm smashed the back of the head.
What is it?
See when he sees the boy moving into his area, he said maybe just shuddered
Aye.
and get him back, but you don't
Why
have
check
the
the no centre
elbow.
half?
I don't know.
But exactly, but you, I think as we're talking about, because it was so early and he's probably going, what is it, 2-3 seconds in. But when a guy moves into your area, get the old shudder charge, you can't bring it.
But he doesn't.
It was
He
a
runs into his area like
and-
5 yards away from him.
and
He
he goes-
just runs and it's a red card for me.
Aye, so there's a lot going on.
See that? But see if I'm a manager, I swear to God I'd have ran on the pitch and dragged him off. I'm serious. No way you can go about doing that. Because normally it could be 10 men for the full game.
Aye. 3 seconds.
Crazy, absolute
Crazy,
bonkers, isn't it?
You're joking. Was it 3 seconds?
Aye, so I think-
Mate, that's not acceptable. I didn't know.
No, that's what that's what McInnes will be having a wee quiet word with him because he's got away from it. They don't do that. They don't look at that again. That's gone, hasn't it?
Aye.
Aye.
No, well, it should.
Aye, it should, aye.
If we've got VAR
Aye.
and that's retrospective, then there's a problem.
And then
it should be.
Celtic go to Kelly on Sunday. It's a tough game, isn't it, mate?
Aye, but
Can you see Kelly getting something there?
Well, their best performances
Aye,
have
they beat
been
them.
at home to Celtic Rangers.
They beat them, haven't they?
and again, the AstroTurf. There's a lot
AstroTurf.
we made about the AstroTurf. You know, did you see Martindale speaking about it
No.
yesterday about it shouldn't become elitist football because not everybody can afford to have a grass park because he was saying because we have no training facilities. Everything's based at is it Almondville still called? I don't know.
Tony Macaroni, innit?
Tony Mac, whatever. They change their name all the time. You can get his point, but ideally we all want to be playing in grass.
Nah,
Don't we?
I'm
Of
not.
course.
I'm not having that.
But he's trying to kind of. So what he's saying, he says it would cost us
Aye.
£2+ million to find training facilities and that. And 'cause I think that's why a lot of them have done it.
But see, for me, it looks terrible. It changes the game, and I totally get that argument that they need to find a training ground. But every other team finds a training ground, so they're saving money
Aye.
on no having a training ground and being able to train there. Their academy trains there. Like a mother will have to pay to train at DL. They need to pay to use Breadhurst for their academy. They pay to have the best pitch in the league. That's a lot of money that Livingston aren't spending. So
The reason I'm kind of half smiling that is because we always never had training grounds. It was public parks that we
was the
trained
same,
on. You
Motherwell.
used to find a bit of grass in certain areas, you know, whatever area it was. So it's times have moved on, but I think that's.
it's not elitist. I think if you're in the top league in the country, you should have a grass pitch.
But he needs to surely strike up a relationship with somebody in Livingston where they can use a certain area, because I think for the benefit of the game, we need to get back to grass.
It just takes one of the arguments away, doesn't it? Like, it's a tough game on the Astro. It's a different game. It's a different game.
Aye.
I get it for the youth
You need a
development because the pitch. But there you go. Last week, it's the only game that's off in the top flight.
aye.
It's an all-weather pitch.
Aye, I know. Well, they're not. That's what they shouldn't.
That's one of your
They
arguments,
shouldn't be called all weather anyway, shouldn't they? Know because they're clearly no all weather. There it is.
Mate,
but,
I honestly see Astro pitches. I despise them now. I know people train them every day, but see when I trained on an Astro pitch, see after the session, I swear to God, mate, I could barely walk with my lower back.
This is something that I'd be interested to see because there's been that in this era. There's been players that are maybe hitting the 25 mark, 26 that have been brought up in AstroTurf. So you start to look, are they going to start to pick up certain injuries? You know, certain, like, I don't know. So this will be interesting to see if that starts to happen.
I always found Derek, but I found it when I said this, it was hard because when it was Merle at Thistle, when I went on loan at Thistle, when they trained on in Firhill Complex, the Astro there. And after every session, I remember going home and I could barely move, my lower back went all stiff. But none of the other boys were the same. And then I ended up, I was training a few weeks, and then I played a reserve game at EK's, the Astro there. And all I done, mate, was literally, we were attacking, I didn't have the ball and I turned. And as I turned, my whole hip just went, and nothing happened, and it's still the knack of the day. So from that point of view, I've always hated Astro pitches. Even still when I coach on them and walk about on it, I feel my body's not right. But it's hard to put that argument forward of it, because so many people train every day on Astros are playing it and they're fine. So I don't know what.
So there's that with the injury, but there's also we're touching on, you need to play a different way as well.
Mine's is a product, how it looks. You put on the telly and it's an Astro tough game, straight away it looks rubbish. And then it is a different game. I feel that there is an advantage to teams that play on it. Because they're used to it, they train on it every day, they play on it, they know how to use it to their strengths. If you're playing against a team that wants to, no matter what type of team, if you're playing against a team that wants to play football and it's dry, then you can't do it quick and it's no slick. If it's wet, then it's maybe too slick and the weight of pass is different. If you want to go long, it'll hold up. If it's dry, it'll skid away if it's wet. So there is definite advantages, but I think that for us, the biggest thing people look at and go, we need to sell Scottish football, we need to show that it's a good league. Then for me, we need to get rid of the Astro tough pitches.
And do you think that's up to the clubs to date, like the clubs that have got Astro pitches?
I think they're trying to do it. They're trying to get it. Kelly are definitely doing away with it. I think they're slightly different. They've got the money to get their training ground.
That's why he was making a comment like that going.
I get it. I get that point of view, but that's the, you know, if you go and want to play in the top league, then you need to come and have the best of facilities you can. But I played in Livingston's grass pitch the year before they tore it up. Brilliant. That was brilliant. And it really surprised me when they says we're going to Astro.
See me thinking about Kelly. Kilmarnock's Park, way back in the day when I played, that was always a
everybody says it.
Was it?
Oh, that's one thing you knew, because some of the parts I played in, mud heaps. Never done in Ayrshire.
Ross County, my last fought, Motherwood turned that wee corner, but that's a bad result. 3-0.
It's bad performance and bad result.
Was it a bad performance, Paddy?
Aye, I think. Well, you lose 3-0 to Ross County, who I know they've got a new manager in, and Dell's come in and done really well. I think that, like you, I thought they'd turned the corner, Motherwell, and the goals they lost, man.
First goal, 2 minutes in. 2 minutes.
Well, I done the game last night. I think it's brilliant for Simon Murray. He comes off the back, right round the back, and he gets in amongst the big giants at the front post. It's a brilliant header. The Danda one, I want more pressure on the ball, and Liam Kelly's held his hands up. He should have done better with the third goal. It's just, Motherwell at the start of this run, I feel like I say this every week, at the start of this bad run, we're playing well, played really well, and no getting, maybe just getting picked, odd goal. But the theme has been the goals they concede are really, really poor. And I know every manager, every coach can look at it and say that's avoidable. They're losing terrible goals in this run of football. I think they've no 1 in 12, 4 draws, they've conceded 23 goals. It's no good enough, and you can't win games when you're always almost before you start a goal down, because somebody's going to make a mistake that's going to cost you.
Felt for him, by the way, because he was so animated after the game. Kettlewell. Do you know something? I've wanted him to do really well.
I think
because but then and you listen to, you know, and you could see he was, I think he was going a wee bit maybe above board, you know, saying it was his worst moment in football and all that. But sometimes all that information, maybe he's giving them too much information. I don't know, you know, because sometimes there could be a bit of that. Sometimes it's just pick a team, let them go and play, and sometimes it might just work. You don't know, but I think maybe, and I don't know, maybe he's bombarding them with too much information. Maybe sometimes your mind becomes clouded, but certainly defensively, set pieces as well, and that kills you. And going behind as well, how you react, and obviously County new manager, but I feel for. It's
just basics though, innit? Like defend the situation. Simon Murray, I'm saying it's brilliant. He's what? 5'10". He's not actually that tall.
I've watched some games, and you know, and it's players just no reacting to a second ball. It's not been switched on, and it's costing them dearly. And you're right what you say, because in that run, you take about the first games of that run, they should have got at least 4 wins out it. They should be in a far better. So that's how I kind of feel. I feel his pain, I'm telling you.
The only thing is, they're still, like, I think 6 points off the top 6. Which, the way they're playing, it's hard to argue that, they'll turn it round, but because of the run that they went on when he came in, you know that they can do it. You know that there is a good team in there, there's a good manager at the helm. They can do it. So the fact that they've went on this horrendous run and they're no sitting bottom of the table cut adrift tells you that they're no in that bad a position, but it can't continue. They have to start winning games.
Fine lines. And by the way, in the end, they've got the best surface, by the way. It's unbelievable for Park. You played a part in that, didn't you?
They've got St Johnstone at the weekend with new 11 points. Is this a must not lose?
It's a game that Craig Levine needs to get away from khaki-ness. Do you see his wee khaki topi? Don't come on, Craig. He needs to get away from that gear. How do you morph? And you seem you get close to like 60 and you go 60. Why do you always wear khaki?
You're on the way there, because when you spoke about, I didn't think I'd done anything wrong, and you're just at the edge where you're either going to
I need to come in and
drop into line and be that guy that just does what he's told, or you're going to just move out the other side and go, I don't care.
Khaki.
And I'm going to start
wearing next week.
Start wearing brown chinos and camouflage jumpers and that.
You're right, mate. My dad's like that. He wears all that.
How is that? Right, but
you wear khaki on next week, please.
But it's working for Big Craigie.
Definitely.
You know,
I think he's done brilliant.
More relaxed, maybe version of himself. It's getting across to the players, and by the way, they rode their luck last night.
96
they rode their luck because they missed some chances, St Mirren. But sometimes that's what you need as a manager. You just need that wee bit of luck, and fair play him.
It was brilliant.
Did they miss? See the 96th minute? Did they miss the penalty? And it comes out and he scores it.
So they never showed you, but I think his quotes after it were, I didn't know Chris Kane was going to take it. I thought it was going to be Graham Carey, and we were all sitting thinking Carey's got to take this. Kane didn't look confident at all. And then he says, does he not know that I had a heart attack 5 years ago? But that's what I talk about a striker. He's not known for his goals, goal scoring, Kano, but when it comes back to him, it's a first time finish. The goal he can't get up and he nearly gets to it, but he doesn't. But that's what I talk about with the striker's instinct to go and just get whatever you can on it and make the goal have to make a save, and he didn't. But I think this Craig Levine I'm enjoying, because it looks like there's no pressure on himself.
That Craig Levine has always been there. It's just been in front of the cameras. He's no, for me, for whatever reason, he's never showed it away for that, and it's just me.
But even I was only there for a short spell with Scotland. He was always wanting to control everything, and he was like, I just think he looks like Andy Kurt's taking the training. He's turning up wearing the khaki chinos at training as well, and it's almost like he's thinking, well, he said it, he didn't think this opportunity was going to come, he's going to enjoy it, he still feels like he can do it, and I think you're seeing, listen, they'll still put a demand and a standard, and he'll still want to win, and it'll still happen when it gets beat, but I just think we're seeing a different Craig Levine on the touch.
Oh, he's magnificent. Want to cook him?
Yes, let's go.
Here we go. I'm going to tell you the leaderboard just before we go on.
Right, what is the leaderboard?
Size leading. Me and you, Dale, were second.
Size leading?
I had a shocker.
Did you?
Aye.
Size at 4, us 2 and 3, Faddy's on 2 points. So I will just go, as always, we'll go down the board. Motherwell, St Johnstone.
By the way, see when you missed, you got down the bottom, didn't you? So size out. That's a chance to catch up and go ahead.
Aye, you're spot on.
2 points for a win this week.
So he doesn't get in, does he?
Double points.
Double points, 100%. Motherwell, St Johnstone.
Motherwell.
By the way, I was going to go for a draw.
Do you know what?
But do you know something? Hey, and I'm going to go with Motherwell, believe it or not.
Do you think I should pick St Johnstone
to
get the reverse psychology here?
Pick St Johnstone.
No, because I don't want you to win.
I'm going.
I think Motherwell are going to win. Motherwell.
I think Motherwell. By the way, I know
I'm putting too much pressure on the boys.
You're going like that. Why you pick?
Just keep it every other team.
Why you pick? So
get a finger out, boys. Motherwell.
I think the khaki-ness runs out of luck.
Think so?
Aye, in the Motherwell, which is kind of khaki. Strip.
I'll go draw. Looks like a draw for me. That Livingston, Hibs.
Hibs.
I'm going to go Hibs as well. I think Livy are struggling.
Rangers, Dundee.
Rangers.
Aberdeen, Hearts. Oof. Draw.
I'm going to go a draw as well. There you go, draw.
I'm going to
Sitting on the fence. You're going to Hearts, aren't you?
No, Aberdeen to get a win.
And it's like kind of low averages, isn't it? They've got to get something.
If they don't,
big game.
Aye, it is. They've got to show something.
Aye.
So I think it'll be an Aberdeen win. And I know you're saying part of the cup final, and maybe they have done that, but new players are actually, because the team's changed that much, new players are playing for spot against Rangers in the final. Aberdeen for me.
Okay, St Mirren Ross County.
I'm going to go St Mirren. Because St Mirren they've not been great of late.
3-0 they've lost, haven't they?
Derek has been brilliant,
but I just think it'll turn for them because they should have won that game the other night, last night. But I'll go St Mirren. They go. The buddies at home. The tough one that because
I'm going to go for a draw.
Aye, draw as well, Paddy. I think you're spot on there. And last but not least, Kilmarnock Celtic.
See that can go two ways for me. I think that might be a draw or else Celtic cruise.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to make my mind up. Get a coin. I think Celtic will win that.
Celtic for me.
Aye, I'll go Celtic.
I think Celtic will win it.
Listen, I must finish it by saying thanks for everybody supporting the show for the last 5 years, and that will be the end of it after that performance. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks very much, boys.
Good man.